everyone, welcome back to Shulin Anubha Academy. I'm Anubha, a corporate trainer working with the leading companies like Oracle, HCL, Wipro and many more. Today we are diving into the world of exception handling in Java. First thing first, what exactly is an exception? In Java, an exception is an event that disrupts the normal flow of the program. Imagine you are driving a car and suddenly hit a pothole. That is an exception. Java provides a robust mechanism to handle these potholes gracefully. Guys, exception means something unexpected that has happened to your program which result into the abrupt termination of your codes. So there are two types of exceptions in Java: checked and your unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions are like mandatory seat belts. You must handle it or your code won't compile. Examples would be your IO exceptions, SQL exceptions and many more. Unchecked exceptions on the other hand are like the optional air fresheners. Your code run even if you don't handle them. Examples would be null pointer exception, arithmetic exceptions, etc. Guys, now let's look at how to handle these exceptions. The most common way is using the try-catch block. Think of it as a safety net. So guys, this is the try-catch block. The try block contains the code that might throw an exception and the catch block is handling that exception. Easy, right? So let's see it in action with some code now. So guys, this is a simple try-catch block where I have declared a variable a and initialize it with the value 100. Now the code that could raise the exception that I have written in the try block. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to divide the number with 0. Okay, so as soon as I'm trying to do that, my Java program will throw an arithmetic exception that I am catching it here and printing the error messages. So guys, various methods are already available in Java, like your print stack trace or your get message, through which you can print those error messages. Guys, I have done one more exception here where I'm trying to convert the string into the integer, which will raise the number format exception. So you can write multiple catch statements along with a single try block. So guys, if I'll run this, you can see divisibility by 0, exception is being raised and your code, the rest of your code is also running. That means it is not going with the abrupt termination of your programs. Simple and effective. Now, sometimes you might want to do something regardless of whether an exception occurred or not. So, we will be using the finally block for the same. So, it is like the desert, always there, whether your meal was perfect or a disaster. So guys, finally block is optional. The code will always run whether your exception is being thrown or caught or not. Okay, so it is optional but can be very useful for the cleanup activities like closing up a file or releasing the resources. Let's see it with an example of a code. So guys, in this example, what I have done, I have created an array of the size 5. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to fill the position 5th of an array by the value 10. Although we know that the length of the array, if it is 5, then the subscript will be from 0 to 4. So it will raise an exception, that is array index out of bounds exception, which will be caught here and the error message will be printed. Along with that, I have written the finally block, where this will also be printed and the rest of your code will also run smoothly without the abrupt termination. If I'll run this, you can see the output that yes, the error message is also there, finally block is there and the rest part of your code is also there. Next, let's talk about the throw and throws keyword. The throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception from a method or any block of code. Think of it as manually hitting the stop button. So this is how we are going to use the throw keyword. So in this example, guys, I'm trying to validate the age of a person, whether he or she is able to vote or not. Okay. So here you can see that I am validating the person with the age 13. Okay, so validate method is here where I'm checking if the age is less than 18, then it is explicitly throwing the new instance of the arithmetic exception. I'm not creating any custom or user defined exception here. I am using the already available exception and I am giving my own error message here. Else the person is eligible for voting. So if I run this, you can see, guys, that your exception is being thrown because the age is less than 18, but the error message is what we have given. So this was about the throw keyword. The throws keyword, on the other hand, is used in the method signature to declare that a method might throw one or more exceptions. It is like a warning sign telling you that something could go wrong. Here is an example of throws keyword. So guys, in this example, I'm trying to read a file from a particular location in my system. So guys, this might can throw an exception because might be the file is not available at that location. Okay, so I don't want the called method to handle this exception. So in that case, I'm writing this with the throws keyword. Okay, where the caller method, in this case, which is the main method, is going to handle this exception. Okay, so guys, this is basically being used with the checked exceptions because that is required to be handled at the compile time only, but you can use it with the unchecked exceptions also. In case if your main is also not handling the exception, in that case the JVM is going to handle this exception, but this would result into the abrupt termination of your program. So guys, let's run this so you can see the stack trace has been printed and the exception has been dealt here perfectly so that there is no abrupt termination and the rest of your code is also running here, but the called method is not handling it, rather the calling method, the caller method is handling this. So this was the difference between the throw and the throws keyword. Lastly, let's discuss the custom exception. Sometimes the standard exceptions just don't cut it and you need to create your own. So custom exceptions are like creating your own road signs. So here is how we are using your custom exception. I'm using the same example where I'm checking whether a person is eligible for voting or not. So in this case, I have created my own exception which is extending the exception class, and in the constructor I am calling the superclass constructor by providing the message what I want to print. Okay, so here in this class I have created the check method where I am checking whether the age is less than 18 or not. If it is less than 18, then it is explicitly throwing the age not eligible exception instance. Okay, and the error message what I want to print in that case. Else it will be printing that the person is eligible for voting. Here I am catching the same exception, that is age not eligible exception, and printing the error message what I have given. So guys, here in the main I have created the object and I'm checking this for the age 16 and the age 19. So if I run this code, you can see for age 16 it is showing not eligible for voting and for 19 it is showing eligible. So guys, custom exception makes your program much more readable and specific to your application. And that's a wrap on exception handling in Java. Remember, exception handling is your friend that helps you to write the robust and error-free code. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more fun and concise coding tutorials. See you next time. Thank you so much.